Welcome back to Coffee, Conversations, and Badasses podcast. I'm your host, Dustin Hayes. So if you really like what we do, we're now on Patreon, and we would love for you to go over there, check out the exclusive content that we've got going on. And if you like to show some support, become a member. We'd really appreciate it. And now my next guest, AK. This guy has been through some business struggles, built it up, fallen, but he's a man who doesn't give up. AK, how the hell you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm doing great, brother. Appreciate the intro.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I definitely fucking did not know what I was doing when I first started. And then
do we ever though?
Yeah, you never. My coach told me once. It's my favorite thing I've ever heard about business. It's if your business is never finished, so why are you trying? Or business is never done, so why are you trying to finish? So it's like you fucking, it's gonna happen forever. Like you're gonna continuously build on your business and shit like that.
What's there on the desk today is still gonna be on that desk tomorrow.
Yeah, and everyone's trying to kill themselves trying to get things done.
They have trying to get that stack of pile of paper on their desk off.
Yeah,
but tomorrow it's gonna be there again.
Exactly.
So,
or you're trying to finish all the projects that you have going on at one day. But you have a lifetime to do them.
But that goes back to instant gratitude, though. And it's instant gratification because we want something done instantly. We don't want to build $1 million business in 10 years. We want to build that $1 million business in 10 days.
Right.
Which I have never heard of somebody actually successfully doing that.
Or you hear about it from someone else. Oh, he's an overnight success. But all the nights and all the years and everything that went by to build that one moment that did make that person a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever.
That final connection.
Focus on that one final connection.
Yeah.
Right. But everything else is what led to that.
Yeah. All the painstaking nights.
Yeah.
Staying up late. Not being able to pay the bills.
missing out on family events, missing out on important moments in life.
That's the struggle, right?
Yeah.
When people go into business, I think they have this utopia mindset of if I build it, instant success.
Yeah.
Which is not the case.
No, never is.
It's a freaking grinder. Well, I take it for people who've never gone into business. If you've gone into business, you know it's not an instant success. It's a grind.
That's what I learned when I started surrounding. I mean, you know, kind of what we have here, right? So as I met more people that were coming into our ecosystem and in our environment, and we were chatting, I was like, oh shit, everyone's having these struggles. Everyone is fucking, facing these things, but no one talks about it. No. No one wants to talk about it because it's not sexy, right? It's the Lambos that are sexy. It's the money fucking that's sexy. It's all the dope shit that you have that's sexy, right? But not all of the painstaking nights, all of the things that went wrong. People don't like talking about that because it's like taboo.
I do. You know me.
You and me would like a little taboo.
I do like a little taboo. If there's anybody underage, you probably should now turn it off.
But subscribe on Patreon first.
That's right. Yeah, I love the plug, dude. That's awesome.
You have to, bro.
It's crazy. So we go back to where we're talking about we're starting up. How'd you start up? How'd you get into business? And what made you want to go down this road of hellacious headaches?
Dude, I always tell my friends this and everyone that I meet, I am the least entrepreneur you've ever met, right? Like everyone has a story of like, I was selling candy bars and I was fucking doing this and I made lemonade stands and blah, 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 like all this stuff. Like that's dope. And I just never was that kid, right? I was video games fucking all day long, procrastinated every, homework project, got a high GPA and was just like a fucking nerd. And I wanted to be a doctor because I looked in the mirror one day, saw a red dot in my head. And I was like, oh shit, this just fits, let's get a doctor uniform on me and it's going to make sense for me. And my parents loved it too. They actually didn't push me to, I pushed myself to. So I fucked myself in trying to become a doctor. I was like,
wow, you set this expectation.
I set the expectation for myself, dude.
Right.
Every other Indian's like, dude, fuck you, man. He's like, they all made me do this. I was like, I did it to myself.
Right.
But to answer your question, dude, I started off going like, I'm going to be a doctor. That's what my whole thing was. I was like working 2 years in an emergency room when I was in high school, right? From 16 to 18, I was working at Palomar and Escondido. and actually facilitated the move of a lot of the patients when the new Palomar Escondido hospital opened up and shit, which was really cool. But when I got to college, I realized I fucking hated biology. And I talked to my counselor and she was like, yo, you got like 10, 12 years in that if you're going to be a doctor. So I was like, okay. So let's figure out another route here. Most of my family's in business and shit. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me try business out. Let's see if that has something that will fit. My dad hated it, right? Because I have two older brothers. They were both, my oldest brother went into IT. He said he was going to become a pharmacist, didn't. And my second brother said he was going to become a pharmacist, didn't, became a DJ. And then, he was like resting all of his hope in me.
You're the last hope of the family tradition. Like, well, now I have nothing to brag about.
Dude, 1 month in, I give him a call. I'm like, hey man, I'm in business school now. Yeah, 1 month in. I didn't even give it a chance. I hated the coursework. I like school. I like learning and shit, but I hated that coursework. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to do this for 4 years. You know, like I just don't want to. I want to enjoy. Yeah, right. Exactly. Then another 4 years after that, and then another 4 years of residency, which is working, but you're still learning and shit. Yeah. I didn't like that. So I tried business. I was good at math, so I was like, I'll do finance. And when my dad was like, I'm not, I don't want to deal with you right now. Like I'm fucking pissed. So I had to prove myself at this point. So I went to find an internship. And the internship ended up being like a 4-letter place. At PRMG. I just thought that's all fucking companies, IBM, fucking all these, they just have letters. They don't stand for anything. So I didn't even read into it at all. I did no research prior. I just showed up to this place. And when I showed up, the parking lot's filled with like G-Wagons and Lambos and Bentleys and all this like great, beautiful cars, right? And it was mainly the executives and stuff like that. But the loan officers were driving great cars too. I just didn't know what went on in that company. I thought mortgages were done through like, you just go to a bank and they're like, oh, I want this house. Yeah. You want that house? Yeah, I want that. Okay, here's money. Oh, thank you. I thought that's how it happened, bro. I literally had no knowledge to it prior. And I just fell in love with the internship. The internship was incredible. I will do a plug for PRMG because they are some of our partners now that buy our loans. And they just set up an incredible environment for me to learn and grow. And so they had this internship opportunity where you go through every department of that mortgage company. And they're a huge company. It was the corporate headquarters in Corona when I was going to school in Riverside, right? So they put you in, start off in retail, right? They basically go soup to nuts on a mortgage. Start off in retail, you work with the loan officers. That's where the origination actually happens. Then you go into like appraisals and how that happens. You go to processing, how that happens, underwriting, funding, and then also all of the back end shit like the financing, accounting, secondary market, which is where you sell loans to other banks for like future time value of interest.
And you package them up and hey, here's good debt with bad debt.
Yeah, exactly. And so they exposed me to all of that. So in a month and a half, it was a 2-month time frame, did a week in each one of the departments. And then you choose which department you want to work in after. And
wow.
Yeah. So it was incredible.
That's a very different culture.
Yeah.
That you don't normally hear something like that. There's like, and we're going to put you here.
Yeah. You get to choose.
Wow.
So you go like, which one did you like the most? But that department has to want you as well.
Yeah.
Right. But every department wanted me. I'm not just fucking saying that. I'm like,
every department
wanted me because I wanted to learn. Because I actually wanted to learn, and I was like, the only skill that I feel like I ever had was being personable.
I was about to say, and you're personable. I mean, that goes a long way.
But that was the only thing I had, right? Yeah. So it served me really well in that environment, and just asking questions, being curious, and the guys at the sales floor. And where I found my mentor, Adriel Esparza, he's a fucking incredible dude. He trained me on everything. He's still, one of my best friends today. We work at the same company now. And he just showed me the ropes, dude. He had that Wolf of Wall Street moment where he showed me his W-2 and it was like, he's making 6 figures a month doing this shit. And my parents always told me, if you make $100,000, that's a lot of money.
This guy's doing it a month.
Yeah. Dude, and I thought, okay, well, I was talking to my friend about this the other day. It's like I was so infatuated with like MTV Cribs, but in MTV Cribs, I'm going, oh, the only people that have houses like that are fucking rappers, you know?
Right.
Like that. I'm not rapping anytime soon. I'm not doing any
Or rock
music or anything
stars.
like that, or rock stars, you know? But I never knew any of the other ways of making money. So I fell into the entrepreneurial kind of spirit of things, you know, where I just
biology is not working. So I got a funny story of biology, by the way.
Tell me.
In college, I wasn't good at biology either. And I had my now ex-wife take the course for me.
Oh, really?
It was online. Yeah, I was like, there's 100% chance I'm going to fail that class.
Dude, that's what I had with my now wife. Did all my Spanish homework because it was online. I don't speak a lick of Spanish.
Yeah. But I have a 4-year degree in it. So
entrepreneur.
I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah, but I wish I did fucking learn Spanish, because in San Diego, if I knew Spanish, I'd do a lot more loans too.
Yeah, Matt, you would be an anomaly because you'd be Indian who spoke Spanish.
Yeah, but they'd be like, but you look Mexican sometimes. So I can't tell.
Depends on which hat you're wearing.
Indian. Depending on what I'm wearing. Dude, I absolutely love that entire environment, you know? And Adriel brought me on and he told me, okay, I'll bring you on as an assistant, you know, after the internship, and you'd be my marketing assistant and shit. And, you know, after a first year of working with him, a lot of the things that we deployed worked. Right. So he was telling me, hey, these are things, do some research, all this kind of stuff. So he was like a really fucking good mentor. Right. Because not only on the marketing side, when we brought a lot of loans in and I mapped everything out and said, like, this is how much more volume we did this year. He was like, oh shit, let's get you into the loan side of things now. Right. So then he started throwing me into, you know, reviewing applications and trying to make some problem solving assessments and all of that kind of stuff. So he's like, hey, I want you to create a presentation for this client. Give me the best 4 options that you think would work for this client on this loan, and then we'll review it. And so literally I would do that all day long, just all the pre-approvals that are coming in, fucking work on them, put them together, put a presentation together and present it to him. And then he was like, there are 5 things wrong with this loan application. What do you think they are? And I was like, fuck, you know, I didn't catch that. And so he's making me critically think. He never gave me the answer. He always, you know, kind of pointed me in the direction. He was like, what can you do to find the problem here? And what are we going to do to solve it? And so I've just been very situational, just like that problem solving skill and just, you know, building that muscle.
That's a great mentor.
Great mentor.
Who's giving that, instead of just saying, oh, you got these 5 things wrong, because you don't learn from it.
Yeah.
They found it and just showed you versus, hey, go back and look at it again.
Yeah, he's incredible at what he does, and I was super grateful to have him in my life. And yeah, I tell him that all the time. You know, we have a running that I'm going to see him on Thursday, and we take a picture at our annual holiday party every single year. We've done it for the last 9 years. You know,
here?
No. We have a holiday party at my parent company at Easy Fundings. Okay. So we just go every year. We did it at PRMG for the 4 years we were there, and we did it here for the last like 5 years. So we've been there 6 years actually. So 10 years now that I've known the guy.
Damn.
So and he's, you know, he was at my wedding. He knows my wife. He, you know, I know his wife. His kids call me their uncle and stuff like that. It's a beautiful relationship that we built just off of this thing. But he was probably that starting point for me. You know, the company was, you know, the starting point actually, and then finding him and him just wanting to take me on as a mentee and like teaching me everything. That's how I got into it, really. And then so he put that fire in my belly, dude, because we're like, you know, we're touching shit ton of money every single month. And I'm seeing those checks come in, you know, and I'm just like, and then he starts, you know, putting me in there when I got my loan officer license, and I'm his junior now. I can make commissions on all the loans that we're touching. By the time we're done in the 4-year time span, I've done like 540 loans with him. And, you know, most loan officers do 12 to 24 loans in a year, right? So I got this exposure that people get in the entire career of being a loan officer for like 30 years.
Wow.
So I learned the good, the bad, the ugliest. And so I was just like, I feel very ready, you know? And so once I graduated, I came back to San Diego and I just fucking hit the ground running and started doing everything that everyone told me to do.
So how come you didn't stay up there and work with that company?
I wanted to be in San Diego. I was with that company in San Diego.
Oh, gotcha.
But then we switched over to Easy Fundings, which is my now company, parent company, which was a broker that was exploding. And we'd just been, exchanging deals with them for years, right? And just an honest to God, great guy, the CEO of Easy Fundings, Tano. He's one of my favorite people. He took me on as a mentee as well, right? And then that was the acceleration of production where, when I came to San Diego, we switched over there. There was a lot that he taught me about what I was doing wrong as a loan officer, right? Because it's not just you can identify what's going on with the loan. It's customer experience and being a fucking a cleaner in your business and just fucking problem solving, but also doing it at a level where people respect you, because he was like, look, you're 22 years old. You're going to have some fucking battles with people. They're not going to trust you. You're not going to do this. You got to fucking spit your game the best way that you can. And that's what he taught me. So it's just like, and I always tell this to people that ask me, like, how do you get started? What should you do? So find a mentor, dude. If you can work underneath someone and they will walk you through the process, show you how the sausage is made, then you're going to be in a much better place. It's a 4-year delay for you to explode on the other end of it. And it doesn't have to be 4 years. It's 4 years for me because I was in college, right? It could be a year, 2 years. Some people probably learn a lot quicker than I do, but I like to be thorough,
It goes to damn near everything you want to do, man. You go find a mentor or find a good company and get a mentor in that company to teach you what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're going to have leaps and bounds. I didn't do any of that. I didn't know anything about any industry I opened a business in.
That's literally the way where I'd say I'm the least entrepreneurial entrepreneur ever.
Yeah.
Right. Because I wasn't a self-starter.
Well,
I didn't go and do all this shit like on my own. I had just been in the right place at the right time and decided to be opportunistic.
I think I have to disagree though.
Okay.
I have to disagree with that. I think you are. You know what I mean?
I think now I am. Now you know me though. Right.
That's true.
So it's different now. Now I've kind of fallen into that.
Right.
My story, my origin story, right?
Yeah. I did not fall.
Dude, no.
And I don't think, unless you went to like a legit entrepreneurship school, and I'm not saying, I've got my degree in business, but if you go, I don't even know what a legit entrepreneurship school is.
I think it's honestly like selling candy bars and fucking lemonade and shit like that when you're like 5 or 6,
It's about doing.
Yeah.
That is a school. You don't have to go pay for that,
bro.
Yeah. You were on tour.
I played World of Warcraft for 12 years.
Oh my God.
I was in there. And I loved every fucking minute of it, dude. The glory days.
Do you play now?
No, I have no time to. Dude, but I love it. My entire office, the original inspiration was to be a gaming, like a gaming forward company. Because one of my goals is to own a gaming team.
Really?
Yeah.
Still?
I was like, still. I think that's the next generation of franchises, right? Like in sports, isn't it? Esports.
Is gaming. Interesting concept. I've never looked at it that way.
Dude.
I love your inspiration because I have the same inspiration, not gaming because like I'm pretty good on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Man, I'll shoot some shit, but just good thing they don't have friendly fire because I'm the one spraying. Just like I just see it, I'm just like,
you can turn it on.
Oh, I can turn it on. I do pretty good, but it's been forever since I played. Actually, not forever. I just played it recently and just got a few hours. And I was just
with the gamer tag, dude. We played Warzone and shit like that. I don't play World of Warcraft anymore. It's more of like an intense, like you're in there,
right?
Like you're just like you get sucked into that world.
You're in a realm.
Yeah, you're in your own realm, dude. Reality is not reality anymore. Your fucking World of Warcraft is reality. Witchcraft.
Yeah. I've never played it.
It's I don't spend too much time on it, but it's an incredible, like expansive game, right? So the thing is like the friends that I played with, they're still my best friends today, since elementary school.
Are they crushing it too on there?
Yeah, they play still.
Wow.
So they're just not entrepreneurial, right? They're more, they have their careers and all that kind of stuff.
They got the 9 to 5s.
But they love their shit.
Yeah.
They do their thing and they enjoy their life. And I fucking respect the shit out of that. And I love that they're exactly who they were when we grew up.
Yeah. No, man, right on, dude. I love your vision. I love how maybe you're seeing something into this next set of sports And that's incredible, man. I want trophy truck. That's what I want.
Oh yeah? Just
Yeah.
fucking race those motherfuckers
Yeah.
to the dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want.
We're gonna get you a Raptor. You like a Raptor?
Well, yeah, I'd like a Raptor. I'd take a Raptor.
Dude,
I would drive
I feel
it.
like that's a shit where you can turn that into a trophy truck, right? Or do you does it have to be lighter?
Man, I didn't say I know everything about trophy trucks. I just said I want red, white, badass brew to have a trophy truck, and I get to pretend I'm driving it. On Instagram, I'm driving it, okay?
We
But
can
in
start
real
with
life,
one of those
I got
RC
Billy
fucking
Bob
trophy
Thornton
trucks.
probably behind the wheel, fucking like Bad Santa. But yeah, man, that's my dream.
That's your dream? The trophy truck for your company?
Yeah,
And then what about
one of them.
deeper into red, white, and badass is how it, like, when you think about, where you want to take that company and grow to and scale to, how is that when you think about doing that?
I cry.
Me too.
I cry.
Me too. I get stressed out.
Yeah, I mean, where do I want to take it? The thing is with that, it's endless. It's only, the ceiling is only where you cap it.
Right.
So
Starbucks started off as a fucking small little coffee shop.
now they're on every corner like McDonald's.
Dude, they're on every corner multiple times.
Yeah,
You have a
that's
Starbucks in the same parking lot as there's a Vons and another Starbucks in that Vons.
in Target, there's a Starbucks in the parking lot.
Yeah, and there's Starbucks in the parking lot as well.
And then I'm talking about in Santee, California. And then on the same street, not even in the same town. So you have Target and then you have Starbucks. And this is in Santee. And then on Magnolia, you have 2 Starbucks locations. And then, yeah, man, fuck, dude. They've done that 3 times.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Do you think that because of the expansion that they had and because they kind of delivered themselves into every corner of the world, that it reduced the quality of coffee?
Yeah.
So would that be something that would prevent you from going and scaling because you focus so much on the quality? I love your coffee. We exclusively drink your coffee in this office now. But is that something that you would be able to walk away from a little bit because you could scale up higher? Or is the quality more important to you?
So that's a loaded question. So when I envisioned this, I didn't want low quality coffee.
Right.
I wanted a premium cup of coffee, but it's not this business is not even actually about coffee.
Okay.
It's about a mission.
Okay.
To help stop veteran suicides.
Right.
That's what the business is really about. The coffee is just my vehicle.
Right.
Like everything I sell is just a vehicle. But my mission is what's important to me. Coffee is just providing me a product.
Okay.
So I can, support my mission.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really not even about
so
the
it
coffee.
just became a business. It was just something that this is something that you just enjoy, but it allows you to be in front of the right people.
I'll be coming on your show and I'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
Because it's a story in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But it's not, the road wasn't paved easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a grind, man. No pun intended. It's a grind.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. But it's, but each business I've been into, it's always been its separate kind of grind.
Yeah.
No matter what. Now, the map is kind of the same, but an e-commerce business is it's fucking difficult.
I feel like
super difficult.
But when you take the meat and the all that shit off of, every business has the same kind of skeleton though. It's not done the right way, or maybe the pieces aren't put together the exact same way, but it's still the same skeleton. It's the meat that makes it different, right? It's all the other shit that gets added on. But business in itself, that's what I really learned kind of going through my own stuff, right? Is you can have so much application from someone else in a completely different industry that tells you this is working for me in this side, but you don't think about it because you can be so centered on what everyone's doing in your industry, but you have someone that's in this industry that's doing, leaps and bounds better in a certain sector because they're thinking about it differently because that's something that they're used to, or that's something that they were exposed to.
I definitely wouldn't walk away from advice.
Yeah.
That I definitely wouldn't walk away from. because you never know when you might hit a golden nugget.
Oh, for sure.
You might be 3 feet from gold.
Shout out Greg.
Yeah. You never know. So, yeah, I mean, the skeleton in business is different, but being in different businesses, they are different. I mean, like I had a construction business. So the way I marketed my construction business was completely separate from how I market my coffee business because I didn't have online presence.
Right.
I had to have a website per the government and say, I exist.
Right.
This is verification of you are a real company. You exist.
Yeah. Is that mainly referral based on the construction side, or is it more?
Yeah. So the referral based on when you did private construction,
right?
On commercial, lowest bid.
Okay.
You're doing government or private, it's lowest bid.
Right.
You know, unless you're in a different
War Dogs,
program.
right? Or
it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Like, hey, can you do this $300,000 job for $295? $290. It's like always on the cusp of going broke.
Right.
Like, you know, so you have the budgets. But
we're like, look, you're going to work here with the government. It's going to be secure. We're not saying that it's going to be fruitful for you, but you're going to be working.
So there used to be a running joke in the construction industry. Now it's long gone. There was a boat, there was a yacht, and then there was a dinghy. And the dinghy was named contract, and the yacht was named change orders. And it's right. It's like, it was like, okay, I get it. I can get it. I can wrap my head around that because before they check the change orders, it'd just be like,
right.
You know, just fruitful, but, and rightfully so, because it's a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
But I hated the industry, man. It was a mental thing for me. I hated it. My dad was he owned a construction business, and I absolutely hated it. And I fell into it. Yeah, I fell into it. I fell into it.
But you didn't like it.
I hated it. Hated it. After my business struggle.
Was it because you were exposed to it for so long that you just it didn't excite you? Or was it just
I fucking hated the people in it, dude.
Okay.
Really? The people in it are scumbag. Not all of them. And if you're in a construction company, not all of them. There is some good people, but dude, there is some shady ass people, and it's just so cutthroat.
Right.
Like everybody is out for themselves, and that's not how I operate, man. I operate with a team mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's hard to do in an industry though, right? Like for example, with the mortgage side and with the real estate and shit, right? I always feel for real estate agents because you don't have like a price. You know what I mean? You can lower your commission and all that kind of stuff, but if you're working with a buyer, it's just whatever the commission is what it is. And so your competition is who likes, that person or you more.
Right.
And that's going to weigh, or are you in front of this person first? And that's a fucking struggle because that is a grind. You have to be in front of people at all times. You can't really do. And that's why I like the lending side. But our struggle is who's got the lowest interest rate because everyone cares about, obviously, and rightfully so, cares about how much they're going to be paying for their house every single month.
Right.
And it's hard to sell someone on, look, my experience is a lot better in terms of getting you to what you need to go to and actually getting you that house with the right information, but it's going to cost you a little bit more per month. And they're just like, nah, I'm just going to go over here and I don't care if my process is horrible because I'm saving money every single month. Yeah. And that's like the most frustrating fucking shit with mortgages.
I bet that is. And not only, I'm sure 3 years ago, it wasn't that point. It was just feast or famine, right?
Yeah.
But now
it's also who you get in front of. So like in mortgages, same thing, right? You have these giant companies that so this literally happens in the industry, right? There's just a shit company that has a bunch of fucking people that are calling and they send out mailers to everybody in the United States and they have the name of the last company that did their loan. Right?
Yep.
So they're like, and it looks like I sent them mail. Literally. Yeah. It's saying attention, like and this is like easy fundings or next level lender and all that, like whatever. And it looks like it's coming from me. But, and very small on the bottom, it says what the actual company is. And so, luckily we have a good relationship with all of our clients, right? So they would literally send me a picture of this shit and go, is this you? can you offer this rate? And it'd be offering like a 1.49. Didn't exist, right? But it costs you like fucking $80,000, you know? Then you get a 1.49%.
Wow.
And they're just like, but there's no regulation against that because they
just claim
yeah. They didn't say that this is coming from this. They just put the name in there so that you would open the mail.
That's wild. I'm surprised that's not illegal.
Yeah. And it just happened everywhere, you know? And then same thing, fucking the credit bureaus, right? Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, they sell their data. So anytime someone buys or anyone, someone gets a credit report ran by a mortgage institution specifically, you can buy that data and just call someone like, hey, just saw you got your mortgage credit ran. Are you looking to buy a house? And
which I don't think that should be illegal at all.
No.
If they're a credit reporting agency, but they are not
they're private.
able.
They're private. They're not publicly or governed by the government agencies or anything like that. People think that the government agencies run those fucking things. And
no, they're private.
It's completely private.
Yeah.
They just dictate your life.
Right. Right.
And they hold all your data.
That's why I hate the government.
Yeah.
we can get in. We're going to get into that maybe later on in the other side of this interview.
Yeah, I'm down.
So you walk it back and go into this industry, but you didn't. How did you start off owning your own business? How did you get into it?
It became like a thing when I was a loan officer. I was working fucking endless hours, just like I was talking about with the agents, right? That they're in front of people, right? So I was doing open houses every single weekend. I'm going on meetings every single week. I'm taking these agents out for, you know, I was a little bit extra. I would take them a bottle service and all this kind of stuff. And it was fucking just like any money coming in is fucking going out to expose and get wider and wider and wider, right? Get us draw in this huge audience. And before I didn't really know anything about business, right? But I kind of thought back to Adriel because he taught me how to be a loan officer, right? Like a really good loan officer. But I didn't really know too much about actual like business building in terms of hiring people and all this kind of stuff. So that's when I started actually paying for coaching. And then, you know, they were telling me like, you got to get an assistant, you know? And so then I got assistants, but I didn't know how to be a boss or a leader. And so that fucked me up. Right. And so like my first assistant, like I had him for like 3 or 4 months, and it was like spinning wheels. Like I was still doing everything, but I was paying. Right. And then that just didn't work out. So got rid of him. Then I tried to get with another loan officer. We partnered up together. He had experience and shit. I was like, okay, look, I'll just partner with him. We'll go 50-50 and we'll build a company together. And so he was the one that really had a lot of business sense. And he wanted to go and be a mortgage broker and a real estate agent. And I didn't really want to do that. I was always, you know, I'll just be mortgages. I'm not going to touch real estate at all because I'd rather full ass one thing than half ass two things.
Right.
He was successful with it, but I just, you know, I knew it would rub a lot of people the wrong way that I worked with personally. So then that kind of threw me into building my own business. And that happened right in March. So I had this business in March of 2020.
Okay. Oh,
so in 2018, I did this business partnership, and for, you know, like a year and a half, we were doing the things together. We were going to meetings together, all this kind of stuff. And he was just teaching me a lot about like, you know, how he used to build this shit and like hiring people and how to manage them and all this kind of stuff, which was, you know, really good experience for me. Right. But it was a lot of grunt work on my end. He was, you know, having he had his family, he's just having kids and all this stuff. And so I was willing to do a lot of the work, right? He didn't like make me do all this shit. I was willing to. But, you know, I think when 2020 happened, he wanted to go do mortgage and real estate and shit. Maybe he had some foresight I didn't see, but I got the business back 100%. And now I was just the sole business owner. So I fell into it, literally.
Wow.
Again. So I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do?
That's a crazy fucking story, dude.
Dude. And the problem is all the employees that we had, they fucked with us because of him, not because of me. Because I was the young, dumb, stupid person, right?
Yeah.
So
you're the fun guy.
Yeah, I was the fun guy. But they didn't feel like that was the person that was going to navigate them through the waters of COVID. Right.
Yep.
Which falls back on me. I didn't put myself in a leadership role. I put myself in a friend role or in a, like, oh, I'm just here to make money role, And so when he left, they all left. So then I'm left with a ticket with all these loans that we had. And so fucking dude, beginning of COVID, everyone else was having a great time. I was literally 4:00 in the morning to like 1:00 in the morning, just working on loans because I had no one to help me out with it. I didn't know anything about them, like the actual back end of the loan or anything like that in terms of the process, because I'd just been straightforward on going and selling. So I had these like 17 loans that I had to close, and that's a fucking shit ton in 1 month.
Wow.
And so I would just be drinking Trulies, dude, because that was what you did during COVID, ripping the bong and just closing these loans. And that was it for a month. And I got so tired. I made a shit ton of money, but I got so tired from it. I just fucking I took a month off. And arguably during that time too, because you're doing too much volume. I didn't have the ability to communicate the way I used to. I lost a lot of reputation and a lot of good face with the agents we were working with at that time.
Right. Yeah, you're falling short.
And I'm trying to navigate through COVID too.
You're going to have to sacrifice something somewhere. And it was your customer service that sacrifice ultimately.
100%.
Which is, I don't know, man. When you reflect back on that, would you have changed that? Would you have sacrificed the loans taking a little bit longer versus the customer service?
No, the problem is the loans taking a little bit longer is customer service, right? So if it takes long, that's the thing that they harp over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because it could fuck them out. Could fuck up closing.
Right. But then the problem is they're going, oh, why is this not something that's working now? Why is this not working now? Why is this not working now? But what I didn't communicate well enough, or didn't know how to communicate well enough. And what happened was during COVID, all the regulation changed like this, like all the banks were changing their guidelines. They're putting overlays on their guidelines. I can't fucking do anything about that. Like there's nothing I can do. I have to follow the fucking rules. And so that ultimately just ended up in me, having to just weasel my way through it and just like, look, we're going to fucking get it done. Don't worry. Like I'm handling it. And it got handled and these loans all closed, but they just didn't like the experience, right? The customer service wasn't there. Why didn't you answer the phone enough? I was like, well, I'm fucking working on every loan. Like if you're calling me, I can't work on the loan because I don't have anyone to help me work on the loans. Whereas before I had people working on the loans and I would just be talking to the clients and working them through them or helping them out and being available for them.
Right.
Right. So I saw a system that worked and I had a system that didn't. And it was just happened to me because I didn't expect everyone to leave, you know, but
and they left. Did they start another company?
No. They left. This was the first iteration of it. Right. So this is COVID. And they left because, the bigger companies around here, they were going and eating up everybody that was like a processor and underwriter and all this stuff. And basically what I was paying my processors with salary and bonuses, they just paid them straight salary more than what I was paying them.
Wow.
W-2. And so they went, oh, that's a great thing that we can get that done. And I don't have to worry about bonus checks and all that kind of stuff. And, I don't know. And literally they told me like, we don't think that you're going to be able to sustain business and build business and keep on doing the volume we've been doing through this thing that's happening right now with COVID. And I understood. I mean, they're older than me and I'm fucking 24 at this point, 25, 24. And they're like in their 30s and shit. I'm like, trust me, I got this. I've never navigated anything like that. So, but neither have you. Like, give me a shot,
Right.
But it ended up being a good thing, because then that led to me really kind of taking the next level lender brand and turning it into a business. Cause I was like, I never want to be just the singular loan officer ever again. I want to have a business. I want to be able to control the experience. I want to have full control over how the process goes. And that's what I'm going to do. And so I just spent 2 months building a business plan out, writing out everything that I would want to have, client experience, step by step, like 360 touch points through an entire loan process. And it was a good time for me. It really was. And that's when I really started kind of fixing myself. I went to therapy.
I was about to say, what do you mean fixing yourself?
Yeah. So I went to therapy and stuff because I was drinking a lot, because also at the same time I was, my now wife, I was broken up with her for just at the end of 2019, you know? So we hadn't been together. I hated that. She's the love of my life. Obviously I'm married to her now, thank God. But that was because I was working so much, you know, that she was like, we never have any time together. You never spend any weekends. She lived in Orange County. I lived here. And then I had to explain to her, we don't see each other and shit like that. And then Friday night I'm at the club, right? Because I'm buying bottle service for the agents, but I'm with all these agents. She's like, okay, so you can go off and, you know, go and drink and stuff like that and just call it work. But it is, you know, and it's a hard,
fun side of work.
Yeah. It's a hard pill to swallow, but that's what built my business. Cause I was the guy that was fun with all the agents.
And on the flip side of her side is all she just wanted time is you partying. Yeah. And she
not
just
spending
wants
time
a
with
little bit of your time.
Exactly.
You know,
and so I fucked up. Right. And so for me, I was like, well, you know, she doesn't want to talk to me. Like none of this kind of stuff. So it was just like no conversations at all. That fucked me. So then I started drinking a bunch more, going out a lot more, all that kind of stuff. And I was, you know, 24, 25 and I had money now. Right. So it was just like a recipe for disaster. But COVID kind of forced me to be in a shell and kind of sit with myself and understand that like, wow, I'm probably not all up here like perfectly. So I need to kind of go and identify what's the problem so I can solve it.
I don't think enough people reflected on themselves in COVID.
Yeah.
They didn't take that time.
Yeah. Well, they're either having fun or they got completely, you know, shadowed into a little box of their life and they got comfortable there, which is the enemy of success.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's the number one to take you down. You know, well, we're going to hear more about this when we come back from the break. But before we go, we want to thank Go Man Go Productions. Their production quality is top notch. And we're the reason why we have a badass podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Is because of Tony doing the production. He's awesome. Go check him out at Go Man Go Productions. Go
Tony
check
Hickey.
him out. Tony Hickey.
Tony Hickey. At one point in your life, his last name has been on your body.
That's it. Just new tagline.
Yeah. I'm going to go get a hooky right now.
Oh,
you want to do it?
Yeah.
Right.
Double hickey.
All right. So yeah. We'll come back from this break and I will have my sweater like this.
Yep. He's going to have a new hardware. Oh, all right. We'll be back. Hey, Cat Badasses. Our Patreon is live and accepting memberships right now. And for only $3 a month, you get some cool benefits with it. Chance to win Red, White, and Badass Brews coffee every month and exclusive content, just to name a few. So go to the link, go to our Patreon account, and become a Cab Badass member. Welcome back from the break to Cab Podcast. But first, if you haven't checked out Red, White, and Badass Brew, coffee is Bowl's American Spirit, you should go check it out. It's at the link below. It's in our bio. Go check out the coffee. They have some badass roast, but it's also their mission that's important is to help stop veteran suicide. Go check them out. Buddy, back from the break.
That's right.
I'm empty.
Drain the main vein.
That's it. Oh, I only got a little main vein though, so it didn't take long.
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
I'm Asian.
You know, that's it. The pillar to success is to have a bigger main vein.
That's right.
Oh my God. Oh shit. We'll get into more of that in the exclusive stuff.
Yeah,
we're going to compare sizes.
Only on OnlyFans.
That's it. You have to pay.
You have to pay to subscribe.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, the pillars of success. How would you define them for next level?
The pillars of success, I'd say the number one is for me personally, and I know this doesn't go for everybody, but it's the the relationship aspect of things, right? So like my entire life and everything is built off of, we were talking about it earlier, the personability, right? Just building and maintaining like relationships with people, right? Which is ironically the pillar that I have and the pillar that I've lost multiple times, you know, because of the customer experience and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely relationships. I'd say the next one would be systems and process. And the next one after that would be marketability and personal brand. So a lot of that all just kind of culminates into bringing a good business together, right? When someone trusts you and they know that you have a good brand behind you and you have a great system to be able to actually manage your business, and you have a fluid process that you can explain to somebody and they can understand it and they can feel it throughout that process. That just in our business and being a loan officer and being a lending company and being in real estate is, it just really only takes those three for me personally.
I think you touched on a key moment or a key element that I think a lot of people are now realizing is relationships.
Yeah.
They don't realize how important relationships are. It's like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
You know, I want that experience to keep going with every loan that you get through me, not just this one loan experience, but
and everything that's thereafter, right? Because like,
what's thereafter?
Like we have, when we finish a loan, that's not the last time we talk to our clients. You know what I mean? They're not just our client for when you start the loan process and when you fund a loan and okay, bye, have a great day. Right?
Really?
It's all the conversations we have after that. It's the Thanksgiving messages, it's the happy birthday messages, the check-ins, and it's that trust you build with the client where you become friends with someone and they start talking to you about random shit. You know, and that's a lot of my clients that I have. I love that shit because when they talk to me, I'm not having a conversation where it's trying to pull teeth and trying to get to an agenda, right? Where I'm going, okay, at the end of this conversation, I need to make sure that I ask for business, or I need to make sure that I remind them that I'm their loan officer and stuff. They know me. And so when that time does come, they always call me, right? But it's maintaining that relationship. That's been what we do that's a little bit special, you know? Our clients feel like they can come here to the office. They can give me a call. They can talk to me about whatever. And so they're not scared. They're less reluctant to give me all the information that I need to be able to do my job the best way I can.
That's a lot of things people don't have is the afterthought, because I've never heard from my loan officer after the loan closes. It's just like, thanks for the check.
Yeah.
Maybe see you next time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
remember when you're ready to refinance, give me a call, but they'll never call you to ask you.
No.
Or they don't, because they're as good as their last transaction, or they're only focused on the next transaction. They're not focused on, I've done loans for my clients multiple times, and I've only been in the business really originating, right? I've been in the industry for 9, almost 10 years, but I've been originating loans for 6, you know? So since I got out of college, when I started doing it on my own. And in that time, I've had clients that I've done 5 loans for, 6 loans for already, because they come back and they know I have their shit. I know what I'm doing, and they like who I am. You know, so
That's
it's
that personal
lifetime
touch.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That personal touch that you keep touching that person.
Yeah.
You know, with permission. You know, so, and it's okay with permission.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
You know, I'm feeling some unwanted touches.
Dude,
You know,
that's like the pillar. That's a huge pillar for real estate.
But
You know,
you're
they
also
always say
building
that.
something kind of pretty badass in here too, though.
Yeah.
You know, that I don't think I've really seen. And you can get into your vision. I know your vision.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to say it, but you know, this ecosystem that you talked about, you're really kind of festering or incubating.
It's
like
incubation
success.
is definitely what it is.
You're
Yeah.
incubating success, you know, by how you're doing it.
By being warm and being open and being willing to, you know, bring other people in here and hear their perspective and hear what they have going on. Because what we have in here in our office is it's an evolution of what's happened, right? Before, my entire thought process behind the office was I get so many desks and get all these places so I can have a bunch of employees that are in here, and we're just going to pump and dump a bunch of fucking business, and we'll have a customer service basis. We'll have all this stuff, and I want them here, right? But then what it grew to was everyone loved the office. They wanted to be here. They wanted to hang out here. You know, yeah, come and work in here. because it makes me work too. You know, when other people are working, it makes me work, and we have these fluid conversations about business all day long. So it is just an incubator that we're building. It's having multiple different business areas, right? We have marketing people that don't have anything to do with mortgages or anything like that. They just understand marketing, and they help us out. They help all the agents out. They'll talk to them and give them time because we give them a space and we give them time. You know, we have SEO agency and everything like that that's in here. We have real estate teams that come in here, different real estate agents that are from different teams, which they never would come into one place and work, because usually the thought process is, I have my team has an office, I'm going to that office, that's my office. But this is neutral ground, right? Where you can have perspective from everybody. And that's why they love being in here. And then we have the event space and everything too, because it brings more people and more eyes on the office and shows them what we're building and shows them how we are and who we are. And that just establishes a better rapport, a better trust basis for us to do business together. So it's a lot less of a hassle for me to call someone. Someone's happy when I'm calling them a lot of the times, right? Not every time. I'm not saying that, but when I call them, it's always like a fun conversation. That's the environment that I like to build. I want you to answer my phone because it's not always going to be about business. I actually genuinely care about you, right? I want to talk to you. And that leads to really good business being done.
What gave you that inspiration to do this? Because in your line of work, it's generally employees, high turnover type thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I think LOs or loan officers it's a very high turnover industry, right?
Yeah.
Especially now that when there's hardly any loans. And we'll get into that here in a second. But, you know, how did you kind of harvest and come up with this idea to create this?
Again, I fell into it, right? It just happened because when COVID happened, I was working in my apartment, right? I had a sick ass apartment. I loved working in it. But I hated that I woke up, I got out of bed and I rolled onto my desk basically, you know, and just worked. And then I didn't have like my own zone. You know, I didn't have anything that was like just calming or neutral for me to just decompress. So I'll always go, because my office is right here in the same place that I sleep and eat and shit and shave. Then I'm just going to be okay with jumping on the computer and working. And I had no respect for myself for my time. And so that leads to, you know, you're going to be stressed. You're not going to do your best job. You're not going to be the best version of yourself, which leads to being a great leader. And so I got out of the area and I went to go find an office because I was also at that time scaling up. So I hired, you know, one of my really good friends and I hired my brother. And so we were, you know, starting the whole business and everything like that. We got a little office in this building and it was probably just as big as like the kitchen area to the window right here. Right. So nothing huge, right? There was like 3 small offices and then a hallway and that was it. And we all had our own office that we worked in and all that kind of stuff. And before I knew it, like a lot of my friends that I started becoming friends with in downtown, because like I was exposed to this whole, you know, young entrepreneur, rich, successful lifestyle. I met other people that were doing that in different industries. They were like, oh shit, dude, I hate working at my house too. And so I was just like, dude, come, I have extra space in my office. Come work whenever you want to in here. Because why not? We're just fucking working. You know, I would love to get, you know, you can help me out with marketing. One of my friends, we had a marketing company together. Right. So I was like, dude, just work in here. That way, if you need my help or anything like that, and I'm not super busy on the next level lender stuff, then I can come and help out with the marketing side too. We can just have like good synergy and also expose you to a lot of the agents that I'm working with. So maybe that'll be more clients for us as well. Right. So it just ended up happening. And more people wanted to come in and they started asking me, someone's talking about the office. Like, hey, yo, can I come and work at the office too? And it actually led me to getting a second office across the hallway and putting my team in that office and making my office more of a sales office, a collaborative space with everybody that I was friends with and all that kind of shit. And it kept growing. And so I got an even bigger office that was on the other side where we combined everything, but I had like 6 private offices and open floor space for sales teams for my friends and sales teams for myself, agents to work in, gave some agents offices, had a conference room because I wanted one, and then my team on one side as well. And then this office happened because the building owner, as you've seen, you know, you guys can't see it, but you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
You know, he was like, we're going to make half of these things apartments and half of them commercial units because he has that zoning designation. So I was like, okay, so you're going to make this side apartments? Like, yeah. I had like a year on the lease. So I asked him, I was like, well, can I go on the other side? And you can just start demoing this one and just give me an office of the same size or bigger. And he showed me this office. It was originally like the same size, but it was 2 offices. I was like, knock that fucking wall down, give me both. And that's exactly what we did. And then he let me redesign the whole thing myself. So I was like, I can get rid of the fucking short ceilings. I can get rid of the fluorescent bulbs. I can make it my own space. He's like, yeah, do your own thing. And then I always envisioned having like an event space on the back end because the old office had a balcony, but it was skinny and it was long.
Dude, it's dope, man. You got sick. I mean, the space is great.
Dude, that just all because it just happened, right?
Oh.
I had a lot of people here. And so I like to host, and make my office basically a place that it's an extension of me.
Right.
That's why we built a conference table. That's why it's a fun environment. That's why we have the event space. That's why we have the bar and all that kind of stuff. And dude, I had my engagement party here at my office and my entire family loved it. And my wife's family loved it too. They were like, they were impressed by the office. They just loved kind of how it was. And they were like, this is so you.
You should just tag at the office.
Yeah.
Like
Next level lender headquarters, next level offices is usually what I say.
The next level offices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because you have quite a, like you said, marketing to influencers to, everybody in this office. Like I was shocked because I've heard of this kind of environment a little bit, but I wasn't quite, unsure.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's untraditional way of thinking.
Yeah. It's different. And there's no real clear path.
No, there's not.
That's the fun part about it because I like to kind of mix it up. I like to be creative. I like to have different days. I don't want to have the same day over and over and over and over and over again. Right. Routine is important, but I'd like to see different faces. I like to get exposed to new things. I like to learn new shit. Right. Like we have successful YouTube people that come in here. We have all the people from the podcast that come here that I get exposed to, which is why also, I was like, I'm not going to put my brand anywhere in this podcast room because I want people to feel invited to come in and do their own podcast because that's just more exposure for me.
It's brilliant.
It is. And I don't have to charge for it. I don't have to do any of this kind of stuff because I thoroughly enjoy you being here and thoroughly enjoy, meeting the people that are in your ecosystem and in your surroundings as well. It's just fun for me.
The thing is, this whole realm, it just thrown into a different ecosystem that I've ever been used to.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And most people don't have this. Right. And so that's when they come here, it's like, oh shit, I didn't even know this existed in this fucking building. Right. There's garage doors and there's fucking apartments and Airbnbs and fucking massage places and all. It's going to be this is away from everything. You don't expect it.
So after you come on the podcast to relax, there's a massage.
Whoa.
Somewhere in the building.
Dude, no, the fucking place above us that's like bigger than my office, they're literally a massage and beautician training facility.
What?
Yes.
And dude, I swear to God, the elevator only goes to 2.
No, it goes to 3.
Oh shit!
I'll take you up here. I'll take you up there after. There's an entire hotel upstairs called Chow, so it's all Airbnb, and then right next to it's a beautician and fucking.
Is it called Chow Massage?
Say goodbye to your stress.
Yeah, say
Chow.
Hope you come again.
All right, I'm going to send Dustin upstairs really quick. Like,
yeah, I'll be back. Another break. No.
Yeah.
Dude, that's I every time I hear our song, I'm just like,
it gets me amped.
Yeah, like,
yeah, it's a good sound.
Am ready.
Yeah,
let's
100%,
go.
100%.
Oh my God, dude. How you, dude, I was amazed. I was shocked when I met you, how you've created this and how you're building it. And I was like, wow, that's just different.
And I like being different,
and like I said, I'm coming here to work.
Yeah.
Because I like I like the energy in your place.
100%.
You've really built some good energy.
I've always said that and made like multiple videos about it, right? Where I don't deny anyone to come and work from my office. The only thing that I will deny is a negative energy, right? Someone that's not bringing the same vibe, the same positivity that allows everyone to kind of flourish here, right? If there's some bad blood in the air, everyone feels it.
Absolutely.
You know? And it's a trickle down thing, right? If I come in here and I don't have the best attitude in the world, everyone else is going to be fucking feeling that shit. And they're not going to be their best self. They're not going to be open. They're not going to be happy. And that just doesn't breed a good environment. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of that comes from like seeing, you know, these tech companies that are usually ahead of the game, right? And they have, Google has like their campus and Facebook has their campus and all these like companies, they built these like creative spaces, a place that's harboring positivity and fun. So when you do go to get to work, you're not exhausted because you're sitting behind a computer all day long, your back's hurting, you're fucking, you know, it's quiet. You hear that fucking just.
I'm sorry, your mic cut out. Can you do that again?
Fucking like just all the business sounds that you hear like in an office space when you watch like a movie back in the 90s or early 2000s, right? It's just fucking everyone hated being in the office. And that was like the thought process or the vision or the visuals that people saw. And so they hated an office environment. Who gives a fuck about an office? It's just boring there anyways. Everyone's quiet. Nothing's happening. That's not what I want here. You know, I want people talking. I want music playing. I want people getting shit done. And I want creativity to flourish.
That's one of the things that was probably one of the hardest things for me to ever really get a job is to give me a cubicle and say,
yeah,
this is your space. So you can do anything you want with it except for
except for talk to everyone else.
Yes. Yeah. Don't talk, don't look, don't touch.
Don't laugh. Dude.
Speaking to, man, I'll go in. I went and got a Choose membership, not a membership. I signed up for a 7-day free.
Choose Fitness?
Thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're going over the rules and they're like no grunting and me being a smart ass. I was like, does that include the bathroom? And the lady's like, she looks at me like, what? What
are you trying to do here at Choose in your short 7 days?
Yeah.
That's like Planet Fitness.
Yeah, man.
Dude, Planet Fitness, they're like, don't you make anyone feel bad about not being fit by grunting over excessive because you are lifting weights that they can't lift. And make sure that you attend the pizza party on Friday.
Fuck me. You just made that up.
No. Planet Fitness has pizza at their gyms every Friday.
I'm fucking sold. That's the only day I'm going to the gym too.
Dude, $10.
Yeah,
$10, dude.
$10.
Yeah, you can spend $10
Listen,
on fucking
I only have to worry about my
anyway.
next 6 meals. Oh my God.
One meal out of the week taken care of, and you can get a workout in.
Yeah.
But just no grunting.
Yeah.
You're grunting a little extra when you eat a shit ton of cheese, though.
I got something to help that. You just taking it in the sauna with you.
Oh, yeah.
Just cheesier the cheese.
She's just melting onto you.
Just the nipples. You can't see us. We're playing with nipples. Not each other's, just ourselves.
Let me get onto this table really quick. We can make that happen.
We're going back to break. It's been a while. Yeah, no girlfriend, man. No woman wants to marry me. It's fucking crazy. And I kind of love it too.
Dude, it was, I'm dumbfounded that my wife loves me as much as she does.
I even have friends looking internationally for me.
Oh, yeah?
You know, I was like, that's what I need. Somebody who can't understand me.
Oh, God. Mail order bride.
Man, well, we're going to go in that some different time. But, and I will tell you about it. You will be able to hear what I'm about to say, but it's only on Patreon.
Oh. Exclusive content.
Exclusive.
My
voice gets deeper.
Order brides. Provided by Coffee, Conversations, and Badasses.
So what's next for Next Level, man?
Dude, it's a complete reframe of everything, right? That you know what's what we have on the Patreon exclusive. But it's revamping kind of everything and going to a new phase of what we are, right? And again, it's built up to build down, to build up, to build down, to build up, and figure out the right process and the right way to go about how I want to build this business. And in my vision, what I have is build this spot to really be a place to harbor a lot of creativity and a lot of business and entrepreneurial spirit, and take this and elevate it into an even bigger space and with bigger names and with bigger companies, and be one of those bigger companies, right? Be able to command other companies to come in here because they want to be around a successful company. And that comes in with building the tech out and systems and processes. And it's probably going to be a big social media push over the next 2 years to gain a lot more exposure behind a personal brand. So you'll see YouTube coming out in January for myself, where I'm going to be talking about, everything under the sun when it comes to real estate, but especially financing, case studies that come along with that, and trying to build a community for loan officers, because there's not too many of those. A lot of real estate people have, I think real estate agents have a better way than loan officers about collaboration with people in their industry, right? Loan officers are very competitive, it's cutthroat. And so there's not a lot of, overlap and engagement between loan officers. I have loan officer friends, but I don't have a lot of them.
Right. Well, because these are my customers.
Right.
You get too close to me, you're going to steal one of them away.
Right.
You're going to take one of them away. They're going to like you more than me.
Right. Or vice versa. Right. Yeah. Or that's just a shitty, I think, mentality around our industry, but it's because that's what the industry has always been. Right. So changing the frame of what that looks like and actually giving loan officers some love too, because I haven't done that myself. Right. So I say it ironically because I want that, but I haven't done it. So I have to kind of be conscious of the fact that I'm also a part of the problem.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So because I'm not having a bunch of loan officers that don't work with Next Level Lender in the office for that exact reason. Right. I'll be really honest about that. But I want to get away from that. I want to get towards having a community, not only with real estate agents, but with loan officers, and then having that expand and build and building a really good reputation in the industry again. Because if I can get those relationships as I build the other pillars of systems and process, and I establish myself as a really good at personal brand that people fuck with, that all leads to building the next phase and going in and expanding and putting Next Level Lender in LA and putting it in San Francisco and getting it in Florida and getting it in, Texas and all these other places. And it's really going to be harbored around that personal brand. Do people trust me? Do they work with me? Do they see me as a power in this industry? And then taking that reputation, building the technology behind it to really give people a better experience all around, from not only from clients, but from the loan officers as well. And then hopefully pushing towards a seed funding and trying to go and aim after a nationwide expansion. And that's like 10, 15 years, right? But it's, again, not ever finished, right? So I'm not trying to be done. I'm just trying to enjoy every day right now and see how fucking high this thing can fly, baby.
That's the beauty of it, man.
Yeah.
You have a vision and a goal. Now it's just building those blocks to get it there.
Yeah.
And hitting those goals.
Yep.
Now we're in a fucking market that is super difficult.
Yep.
And it is hard to drum up business. But one thing I want people to know is the myths right now. Like, everybody I talk to, don't go get a loan. It's 8%. Don't do this because it's 8%. And I don't know what the interest rate is now. I stopped counting once it got past 6. Yeah.
It's going lower now. It's right. We're sitting between like 6.5 and 7.5 now. We were between 7.5 and 9.
But these are real interest rates where they're probably were supposed to be, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we're not supposed to be at 2.75%.
2.75 was an exaggeration, and 8% was an exaggeration, right? All based off of the Fed's. They're artificially keeping down the rate,
right?
Because that was the only way that they can think to spur the economy in COVID, right? Which boomed real estate, because if you can buy a house at 2% interest rate, that's free fucking money. Right. So the only way people make money is going to be by those prices exaggerating through the roof. And that happens because now everybody can buy a house, you know, because people are buying $800,000 houses having like a $3,000 mortgage up in Carlsbad. You know what I mean? So they were just like, oh shit, I can afford this house. Let's go. And by the time people started figuring that out, then it boomed. People were just fucking racing to open houses. Every house, it was like a fight against 50 to 100 offers in San Diego to get your client into that property. So you have to have the reputation, right? People have to know who you are, and you have to really know how to negotiate. And that was like a big miss for a lot of people. They were like, oh, it's so easy. It really wasn't. It was really tough because you had to fight against everyone else. And then everyone and their mom got the real estate license. Everyone and their mom became a loan officer because refinances were going through the wazoo. Everybody had, if they had a house already, it was definitely above where the rates were.
Sure.
Right? The average rate at that point was like 4.2.
Yeah.
You know? So when you go down to 2%, you're cutting their shit more than in half. Dude, everyone's refinancing because it makes sense. There's no way it doesn't make sense.
100%.
You know?
What's some of the myths we have right now?
So that
go get loans.
I'd say first one is that, right? High interest rate environment is not the time to buy. I disagree. I think it's the absolute time to buy a house. And the reason being, it's not fucking, you know, but everyone was really shying away from, oh, marry the house and date the rate, right? That was the phrase. And so people don't like catchphrases, right? They're like, this is my money. Don't make a joke out of it or whatever. And so they take that shit and they're like, every realtor right now is saying marry the house and date the rate. And they don't know if, you don't know if the interest rates are ever going to come back. I think interest rates going to 20%, 25%, you know, and that wouldn't happen, right? It wouldn't be able to happen if you understand the economy as a whole, as a macro. Right. It would fuck everything, you know? And the sustainability of real estate in the market, given that everyone has equity and fixed interest rates and low interest rates. So the prices won't fall because they only fall if there's a default market. And we're in the lowest amount of defaults out of any period of the last 20 years, right? We're only 1.7% of all homeowners being in default when their average is supposed to be about 3.2.
Which is scary because there's going to be some kind of point where this pendulum comes a swinging.
Well, the pendulum swinging is right now is it's going to be more difficult for someone to buy a house than ever before coming out of COVID. And that's what it is right now, right? High interest rates. It's a great time to buy because the prices are lower. Because once the market comes back, interest rates go down. Inventory is low right now because no one wants to sell because they have a 2% interest rate. They have a 3% interest rate and they have 40% equity and they can pull a HELOC and all this kind of stuff to access their money. But they're smarter now because of 2008 when everyone lost their ass, you know? And then the other thing of it is the regulation behind mortgages is a lot tighter. And it has been since 2009, 2010, when Dodd-Frank was, you know, implemented into the system. And they did such a good job regulating mortgages and underwriting guidelines and things of that nature that there is a very low default rate because most people that bought a house were in a stable place in their life to be able to purchase that property. The people that lose their house right now lose their house because of unforeseen circumstances, right? Not because they couldn't afford it, because they weren't able to afford it beforehand, which is what happened, right?
Yeah, the ARM loans.
Yeah, the ARM loans, the interest-only loans, the balloon payments, and just the culmination of all of that with very low lending regulations so that people were people were getting 100% loans, right? They were getting 80% first and a 20% second. And the 20% second was the balloon over 5 years, and they didn't have to worry about it or whatever. Interest rate on the first was interest only and an ARM. So it was 2%, 3%. And then there was also in 3 years, that thing would fucking boom up and they have to pay back their 20%. And the problem was people did that for years and years and years. And it always made the money because the property was just keep on going up in value because people would just be like, oh, I didn't pay a single dollar to get this house. Right now I'm in the house and my house is now worth $500,000. I bought it for $100,000 in 2000 and 2006 is $500,000. Great. I'm going to run this one more year and I'm going to sell this shit for $700K. And what they didn't see is that the mortgage bubble was right there. It popped and everyone couldn't pay back their balloon payments. And because it happened to everyone at the same time, then all the prices fell because no one was making their payments anymore. So everyone, once the market is flooded with inventory, prices go down because everyone's in a situation where they have to sell. What's different about this market is people are saying, high interest rates, and they're going to keep on going sky high and all this kind of stuff. The way I see it is, okay, then you're in your best case scenario in both ways. You can argue both ways that it's a good time to buy right now. Because if you think that the interest rates are at the absolute highest or at the absolute lowest in a high interest rate environment, it's going to go higher. Buying right now and getting a fixed rate means you have the lowest interest rate. But if they go down, well, you can always refinance. So you are dating the rate. So what's the problem? Because if the rates do go down, then that means the prices are going to go up because no one's selling right now.
I think in San Diego, it's created a harsher market than you would find in Texas.
Oh yeah, 100%. But that's because San Diego is an anomaly. It's its own economy.
Right.
When you think about it, look at all the development. San Diego is in its infancy compared to all the other places in California on this side of the West, on the West Coast. You look at Los Angeles, fully developed. Look at their downtown, look at Santa Monica, look at the hills, look at everywhere around LA. Orange County, same thing. Fully developed for all the industry and everything that's happening. Newport's fucking beautiful. Irvine's huge. It's expansive. It's a private city. San Francisco, huge amounts of development. This skyrocketed in value and all that kind of stuff. When you go down to San Diego, we've had the smallest downtown. We've never really had commerce here. But now we have all these new industries, tech and everything coming in, and this entrepreneurial boom because we have the best climate. People want to live here. It's a beautiful place. It's like paradise.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
We have beaches. We have Coronado. We have fucking mountain ranges. We have deserts. We have all of it here in our small little bubble, and people realize that. So like, if I can work from home, I'm going to go to San Diego because my $5 million in San Francisco gets me a house on the cliffs in San Diego. The number one growing range of prices in San Diego on a percentage basis was $5 million and up in properties.
Really?
Yeah. You had like a year-over-year growth of like 101% in terms of the amount sold. And that's because the prices were moving up and more money was moving into San Diego where all these guys were able to afford 10, 20, 30, $40 million houses, right? LA has $100 million houses. They have fat fucking properties.
Man, it's crazy, dude. And just this industry it's wild, man. On the outsider kind of looking in going, should I bite that bullet? Should I take it?
If you can afford it.
If you can afford it.
That's
well,
it.
Of course.
Like that's
you got to do the simple. You got to make sure you're comfortable in getting that before you do it, jumping into it.
That's the thing, right? They don't want to do the research or they want to just believe everyone that doesn't own a home about, it's so expensive. Like, why would you do that? This is not the time to do it right now. But if you can afford it because you have a good job and it's stable and it makes sense for you, why not? Well, and you don't have to go buy a fucking $2 million house. You can buy a $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 house, or you can be humbled and buy a condo just so you can get in the market.
Yeah.
But people don't want to do that, right? They want their cake and they want to eat it too.
Yeah. I mean, I had a 2.75 interest rate on the house I lost.
Oh.
Yeah. The house I lost, 4-bedroom in Santee.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Lost it.
That's
and it was $2,300 a month.
Dude, right?
Was my mortgage payment. And I was, now I pay way fucking more than that in rent.
Yeah. Was that the divorce?
No, my fucking ex-business partner.
Oh, business partner. Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn.
He fucking...
You're going to have to come on my podcast.
Took everything I ever owned.
That's ridiculous.
Fucking went to the cleaners, man. I still don't smell fresh and clean.
That happens, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was a learning experience, man. I call it $1 million education.
Yeah.
Because it literally cost me $1 million fucking dollars.
Yeah. Dude, I was watching something online earlier today. I like to do motivational shit. And one of the things is like, dude, the people that are the scariest are the ones that get fucking taken down all the way down to the ground and come back even bigger and better and with more tenacity and with more ferocity and actually continue to never stop, right? That you become unstoppable because someone tried to stop you before, but you still kept fucking pressing forward.
Yeah.
You know? And some people just, they get kicked onto the ground, they stay on the ground. They're just like, fuck, I'm not moving anymore.
Oh yeah.
I
mean, that's an easy way to rate. It's an easy route to take.
Yeah.
Is that being stuck on the ground?
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
I played the victim fucking card.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a justification for, well, I've been going through all this shit and it's way harder for me to restart from the bottom than it is for me to just stay on the bottom right here and hang out and figure something else out.
Yeah, it was grueling, man.
Yeah.
When I was, when you're down on your back looking up going, how much work I put into this.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to start something new, which it's kind of sick, I guess, because I never really went and got a job.
Right.
When it happened, I just started businesses.
Right.
And I was just like, there's a pattern of sicknesses going on here.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the challenge though, man.
Yeah. Dude.
Even though it's hard as fuck.
I think for me, like a job is never, I can't do it. I need to be able to get what I put in like out.
Yeah. I don't like the cap, dude.
No.
I'm only going to make 90.
That's it. And you can only work so much overtime and you can only get so many promotions and so it's in so much time.
Yeah. That's exactly where I can go do what I want, being your own boss. Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really how business works, but starting your business for the first 5 to 6 years, that's not how that works.
That's a fucking key right there, dude. First 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
People want, we talked about it earlier, right? Instant gratification.
Yeah. You got to fucking hit the grind.
Dude, I've been fucking working here for 2 years, 3 years. And I should be my business should be booming. It should be $10 million a year in revenue because that's what I've seen online and on Instagram and shit. And all these people have all this shit because you focus on what everyone else has. You don't appreciate what you have in the moment and you don't allow it to grow to get to a point where it becomes what you want.
Dude, you just hit a huge nerve when you said that because you're 100% correct with that. I can also look back and not just pinpoint on somebody else. I was my own worst enemy.
Yeah. Yeah. That happens to the best of us, dude.
Young guy who out of the military, never seen that kind of money. And all I did is follow the green trail, not the right trail. I knew what the right trail was, but I got greedy.
Yeah.
And look where greed got me, man. So, but I take ownership, dude.
Yeah.
Ownership. I did it. I made the conscious decision.
Lesson in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because imagine it happened later, right? After you had even more.
Yeah.
If that was ripped away. Because then you don't have as much time,
That's correct. I mean, 100%.
So you don't have time to pick yourself up. Because at some point there is a finite amount of time that this can happen. But if you allow yourself to fail, but you fail forward, right? That's some of the best shit this world can provide to you. Because you find out so much about yourself.
Failing forward.
Yeah, forward. You find out so much about yourself and you become stronger as a person. And you build a stronger relationship with yourself because you can trust yourself. You're like, I've been here before, but I know that I can get out of it. And you believe in yourself. That builds that belief in who you are and that you're a fucking badass and that you can get this shit done. Like when you look in the mirror, right? That's the thing that the relationship with yourself is, in that relationship pillar, that one with yourself is the most important.
Most.
Yeah.
You got to love yourself, like yourself, and live with yourself.
100%. And you got to trust
before
yourself.
You can do business with yourself.
100%.
Dude.
Absolutely.
AK, man, you're a badass, dude.
You're a badass.
I want to say thank you for coming on here.
Of course, man.
It's been a pleasure. We're not done yet.
We're going into exclusive content.
Now we're going to exclusive content.
OnlyFans, baby. Subscribe to me and Dustin.
My God.
Sorry, guys. Dustin and I, for all you grammar Nazis out there.
Yeah, they, them, him, she.
Fuck. Just lost all my clients.
Oh, shit. Editor, please. Dude, I really appreciate it, man. You're a badass, man. For one, just falling into business, going through some very difficult business hardships and coming out on the end, man. It's super difficult. Not only that, but while dealing with day-to-day trials in your life and going after something that you love and who you love. And that's your wife, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You're a badass, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that a lot, actually.
So we are calling this a done deal today, right now. But
for all you freebie users, but if you do take a moment and you go and subscribe on a Patreon, you can get a little bit more access. And I'm pretty sure he's going to dive into a couple of things that I'm actually excited to talk about because it's ripping the hair off my chest here.
That's exactly what we're going to do, man. We are going to rip the hair off your chest on. Oh, thank you, all the listeners, for watching Coffee Conversations and Badasses podcast. And thanks for Next Level Lender for providing us a space to do what we do, man. Really appreciate it. So please, if you like what we're doing, you like what we're talking about, hit the like, subscribe buttons. And don't forget, we are now on Patreon. We got some badass exclusive membership only stuff going on over there. So fuck around and find out and go check it out.
Oh, fuck around and find out. And thank you for supporting my friend Dustin. He's some of the greatest people I know. And the more that you guys support this, I know the more you're going to help out the world. You're going to become I can't wait to see where this goes. And I'm excited to be along with the journey with you, brother. And I'm excited to have you in my life.
Dude, thank you, AK, man. I really appreciate that.
Dude, yeah. Let's get into that fucking exclusive content, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to Coffee Conversations and Badasses podcast. If you like what we're doing, go to our Patreon. Show some support. We have exclusive content and giveaways over there. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the content that we're putting out. Until next time.